Welcome back to Fox 43 AM Live. Joining us now is Diana with the Nemaha Valley Community Hospital Therapy Department. Good morning.
Good morning.
It is a fall prevention program coming up in October now.
Yes.
What talk to us a little bit about this program, like what's going on, the importance of it.
So when you look at statistics, that's what is really alarming, and what got us at the hospital to start thinking about we need to do something to prevent falls or lower the rates. 1 in 4 adults age 65 and older report falling every year, and it is the leading cause of injury-related death in that age population.
Wow.
And so what we wanted to do was, what can we do for the community to increase awareness about this and just provide them some education on you know, how do we prevent a fall.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So what are some of the major causes of falls?
So, gosh, it can be anything from not understanding your medication. You know, medications have lots of side effects, and you know, as we get older, people increasingly need medication. And what interactions do we have? So maybe they're dizzy because they take medicine. Perhaps they have some things in their home that poor lighting where they don't see, or
trip hazards.
Yeah, oh my gosh, the #1 thing in a house that I see is rugs in a home.
Yeah, they'll sneak up on you.
Yeah, you know, if they're not secured down very well, huge fall hazard. And then of course, just, you know, physical decline. You know, if we don't take care of our bodies, if we don't stay strong, you know, that affects how we walk and
how we catch ourselves, how we fall, everything.
Yeah, how we react. Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
So, especially with inclement weather season coming, right?
Yes.
So I like that you do this in fall, right before we start getting the freeze and the snow and all the frozen rain, everything else. So that's got to play a huge role in what you're doing.
Absolutely. You know, coming up with the ice, you know, people don't get out. So that's another problem. People, when it's icy and they know that it's a fall hazard, they're not going to get out of their homes. Which then can create a fall hazard, because then they are in their homes and maybe they don't get out and exercise as much, and so physically they decline a little bit more. And so we just want people to be really prepared for that and know what's safe and what's not, and how can we adjust.
So okay, so a lot of great stuff to kind of keep an eye out for when we're, you know, at our house. So for these classes, what will you guys be covering? How are we looking at to help people that kind of prevent falls? Yeah,
so falls is multifactorial. What I see in my clinic, and one thing that we do in the class, is I teach people some exercises that they can do to help their reaction time. So when we trip, we can catch ourselves, to work on our balance. And so that's one of my favorite things that I get to do. But we also talk about, you know, step by step, let's go through each room of your house and figure out what could be a fall hazard, and, you know, what are some even simple things you can fix in your home to make it easier for you. When we go to the doctor, most people don't tell their doctor when they fall, you know, especially if they're not hurt. You know, it's kind of a pride thing, like, oh, I don't want anyone to know I fell, but, you know, we need to communicate with our doctor about that. What questions should we ask? So we talk about that. You know, checking vision, checking your hearing every year.
Right, so what are some of the dangers involved that can be tertiary to the fall itself?
So when we fall, okay, hopefully we don't get injured, but
of course,
one of the biggest things is hip fractures. You know, that's one of the biggest injuries that we would see, a pelvic fracture or hip fracture. And as we get older, we don't heal like we did when we were teenagers, right? And so, so that the recovery of that, you know, whether we recover well or not, and then, you know, we can have complications on top of that, and especially if it's, you know, cold and flu season, you know, where we, you know, our body's down and we get, you know, we get sick. We just don't want things to pile up on top of that. And so, you know, fractures are the biggest thing we see with that.
Wow. Okay. So for this class now, I know you kind of mentioned like the danger is a lot of it is 65 and older. Is that who's kind of signing up for this class, or can somebody say 38 with a bad back sign up for this class?
Just for you, Dane. Just for you, buddy.
Absolutely. Yes, it is geared towards the age 65 and older, but some people before the age of 65, whether they have some other diagnosis that, you know, renders their balance to be diminished, it's for you too. I also say caregivers. So as caregivers, if we have a parent that we care for, or, you know, we work in a nursing home or something like that, these are things that we as caregivers need to be aware of as well. So it's geared towards caregivers, anybody that's concerned about their balance, and particularly that age range.
And now, you know, for people listening, how do they sign up? How many classes are happening? What do they need to know?
So the classes are every Tuesday morning in October. From 10:30 to 11:30. We hold it at our local library. They have a community room there. Each week we cover a different topic. So some people always ask me, can I just come one time? Well, you can, but you
want the whole package.
You want the whole package, right?
Come on down every Tuesday.
Yeah. And to sign up, we simply, we do have information posted on the Nemaha Valley Community Hospital Facebook page, but they can call the physical therapy department and we just get them on the list. It's pretty simple.
That's wonderful. Awesome. I love that. I definitely am very curious to just take classes myself, just because I know I'm getting older and I'm going to need to know how to protect myself from falls as the years go on.
Yeah, when you get older, when you fall, you stick. You don't bounce or roll.
Yeah.
I'm learning that the hard way.
It's already happening, John. It's already happening. Well, Dana, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah.
And everyone, again, to learn more, you can also visit nemvch.com.